So when you wake up a little bit from the dream of life, you start to go, what I've been doing with my life? Why was I presenting myself as this? Why was I living in my ego? Um, there must be something more, or my life is so incredibly tiny. Um, and so then the more we start to realize this, we start to see, oh, I was an illusion. I've been chasing illusion. I'm completely overwhelmed in illusion. I don't want illusion anymore. I want God. And so we also endorse this duality, even on a spiritual path. But then we realize actually that Krishna uses that illusion for our own personal growth and edification. And that illusion, that is Krishna's gift to us. It's like a recipe. It's a recipe how to get him. It's like it's a secret map of how to get to him. We use that karma that we have that's been giving us ups and downs of this world to see like, oh, this was all Krishna's
You
plan
mean
for me.
what served as the source of our illusion or confusion can then
Yeah,
become part of our path of getting out of illusion?
exactly.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. This is episode 1470. Today is November 20th, 2024, and we're back at the farm after God knows how many hours of travel, getting all 4 of our bags of luggage lost. Still didn't get them back. We are back, Mr. Kaustubha. Kaustubha,
Welcome back. We should have played
Thank
a little
you.
Welcome Back,
we
Cotter.
didn't play a welcome back song. Yeah.
There,
If you're new to the
count on me
show,
for that kind of thing.
before the show starts, and someone's been gone for a while, we play the Welcome Back Cotter theme song. So that's what Kaustubha's talking about, if you're confused. And Kaustubha, you were traveling or you did the podcast? I'm like podcast illiterate right now. We've been away for a
You
few
don't know whether
days.
I've been doing this podcast or not. You got no clue.
No, you know what? We were like in travel, lost in travel mode.
No, Roga, I was
And
holding
yeah,
it down.
we don't know what's
Me and
been
Kishore
going on.
Gopi were holding things down.
Oh, she's
So we
good.
did 2 shows while you were flying.
Wow. Well, we had the exit row, my friend. And it was
Yeah.
like literally having a whole little mini yoga studio. I was like sitting there chanting.
Please tell
japa.
me that you were well clothed while you're doing these asanas. Okay.
I wasn't doing my naked yoga with a kangaroo. That's a whole nother story.
Like you weren't in your underwear or something like that.
No, I had some sort of a yoga pants I travel in. I was wearing,
Okay.
and I was first. I was like sitting. I was doing like various twists against the wall. I got to just
Okay,
chant nice japa in the plane. It was really good, actually. And then
Did it cost extra?
It cost like $73. It's not. It wasn't like premium. What's it called? Premium economy, which Cody got. Cody got like next level. You know. And you know what, Cody? I checked out those seats. They weren't. They weren't that good.
They weren't that good.
They weren't that good.
Do you feel like when you want to lean back and stretch out that you have nothing to pin your feet up against, so you just like slide to the ground?
Yes, it's just sort of like you could slide right off.
So that's an issue.
You know, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue. I can sleep erect standing up like that. I can just sitting up like that. The only thing about exit rows, you can't lift the arm thing because I like to sit with my legs crossed on the seat like a yogi, and you can't get my knee over there. But what I did do is I just sat on the floor. There was an Indian lady when I woke up sleeping on the actual floor right in front of my feet, which you can't really do
Why
on
not?
most
You know,
airlines.
why
but
not?
It's Air India. They were like, you know what? She's an old Indian lady. Just let her sleep there.
I think they asked her to move, actually.
They did, but she was there for many hours because I was doing yoga on the floor. They didn't ask me to stop. 'cause
My
they couldn't see me.
concern, here's my concern,
Yeah.
that you wouldn't pull some kind of George Costanza thing if there were actually an emergency. Would you?
On the emergency exit row.
Yeah, would you be responsible and do everything that
Truthfully, I think I'm a panicky type.
That's
I
my
would
word.
panic and just be like, "What do I do? What do I do?" I'm like, we prepped you for this. But the way they said it, like it was too easy to get that door open. Like, you got to pull this down and push that, and then it just
Could
pops
open that
open.
thing by
I was like,
mistake.
that's it? There's no lock? There's no combination lock that you give to the people with the emergency exit row seats? Any idiot can just pull this open. Any psychopath
Any
can just pull
clown.
this. Any clown can do this. There's got to be some qualification. They've got to do some character assessment. They do it for global entry. They go through all your records, make sure you're not a criminal, a terrorist, etc.
Right.
And they're just going to let any idiot who pays $73 get the, nuclear codes to open that door. Come on.
All right. Well, it's a good thing it was you. Of course,
Yeah.
anyone could walk up and do
But
it.
maybe it doesn't open. Maybe under pressure it can't open. Maybe you have to be like on the water, sort of crashed, and then it will pop
I don't
open.
know.
Because there'd be more episodes where people just open the doors. That's a Google search. How many people have opened the door in flight? You can't do that.
All right, let's
Anyway,
keep
how's
this moving.
Mayapur? How's Mayapur?
Mayapur is absolutely sublime. So nice to be here.
I heard they paved the road. Did they pave the road from Calcutta to Mayapur?
There are two different highways. We rode on one highway and then we went off it for a little bit. Then we got on another highway. This was a whole new experience for me. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah. It's like the old days are like changing. Like when you had to go from Delhi to Vrindavan or Calcutta to Mayapur, you're talking like 1-lane roads, crazy, crazy driving, herds of goats.
Especially in Mayapur, that
bottleneck
road was
traffic.
It was incredible potholes, and it was incredibly skinny, and
yeah,
death, near-death experiences. No, this was wide open highways. There was no traffic on them. I couldn't believe it. It was like,
wow,
I got here in 2.5 hours, and we
That's
stopped a
unheard
couple
of.
times on the way.
that's unheard of.
Yeah.
You heard they're building an airport like an hour and a half from Vrindavan, the international airport.
The international airport.
It's like going to be like the
Like in
premier
between
one.
Delhi and Vrindavan. They're going to just drop it
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Wow. Things are changing.
Things are changing.
They have
almost like
advantages and disadvantages,
It's almost for sure, but it's almost like people should go to India ASAP. Just
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
I was thinking people should come to Mayapur now because when the deities leave the temple there now, you're never going to have the chance to see them there again.
oh, that's interesting. That's interesting too.
Yeah.
Oh, Kastuba, man, Nepal. You would have. You would love it. You would love it. We had, me and Mara, we broke away. Everybody went back, and we had just a relaxation couple of days, which we never do. We never relax that much. She's very relaxed, but once she connected with me, it's like your relaxation days are over.
Did he? Let me ask you a question, Mara. Was he actually relaxed or was he just happy? Just running around.
like a dog wagging his tail. Was I relaxed?
Yeah, I'd say you were pretty relaxed.
I woke up early hearing all the artiques going on. They had a huge Shiva temple right outside our door.
That's
right outside
nice.
it was breathtaking. The people of Nepal, incredibly pious. And our team.
Unincredibly?
No, incredibly pious, gentle, sweet-natured. The Himalayas are breathtaking. And our team of assistants or porters are carrying everybody's luggage. It's like they're all devotees. They're all like excited for kirtan. It was nice, Kastub.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and a great bunch of pilgrims too from around the world joined us.
Nice. Now let's move on to the announcements. So we got business today. We got to get back in the groove now.
Here's the first part of business. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh this weekend.
Okay.
You're going to be interviewing Johnny Friday.
That's right.
That'll be
at 8 a.m. Eastern time. A little shift in time there.
Okay.
But Genevieve Harrison is dropping a new record.
She's
on
dropping
that day
and growing and climbing.
And we've got the exclusive.
Ooh, that's great. So anyway, that's what's happening. I'm not going to be there because I'm flying to Pittsburgh. I'm going to meet up with Andrea Kay, one of our regular listeners, Ashley, old school Ashley, and Zeb, the whole Pittsburgh crew.
Good people.
Forward to.
Good people.
Friday night is Sangha Yoga, Kirtan Saturday night, workshop at Zeb's during the day on Saturday, and then come back Sunday.
Okay.
They got
Any
a
other
scene going on.
announcements?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a in-person and online Bhakti Recovery Group meeting tonight if you're in the Philly area at Bhakti Garden, 7 to 8 p.m. Also join Wisdom of the Sages at the beautiful Govardhan Eco Village for our Light on Wisdom training January 12th through 24th.
That's important. And if you're into Bhakti Recovery or have never even heard of it but think it's interesting, Shiva Ji is going to be with us the entire time. So
All right.
there's going to be Bhakti Recovery sessions every day for people doing that course. And
Great.
And also, I just talked to Tara this morning. If you're interested, if you're already in GV, especially, we are doing a level 2 pilgrimage to Mayapur again. So if you haven't registered, space is limited, and you got to register ASAP. So that is people. It's a week pilgrimage, 1 week for people who are already into this, already into Krishna and the philosophy and stuff like that. If you feel like, well, I don't know if this is for me, maybe it's not. But if you've been to India before, or if you've like sort of opted in, like I'm a devotee of Lord Krishna, Mayapur is amazing. Kaustubha's there now,
What are the dates?
and those are
I think it's the 27th or something.
27th to the
January
3rd
to
or
the
something like
3rd
that.
of February, something like that.
It's like 7 days.
It's on the
right-
website.
Yeah, it's on our website. And yeah, and we try to make it very affordable as well. So if you're strapped for money, money's not going to be an issue. It's cheaper than any pilgrimage out there, and it's super great weather, great people, lots of kirtan.
Oh, Ishwari Sundari's saying that she wants to come.
All righty, yeah, we get some good peeps. All right.
27th till the 3rd.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think we should dive into the nugget. Like, let's do this.
All right. This is from Saint Teresa of Avila.
Yeah.
I used to have her biography.
Special soul. He was a mystic, you know.
I know about mystics. Okay.
What do you know about mystics?
I am a mystic.
I am a mystic.
I am a mystic. What are you talking about? My whole life is mystical.
Okay.
A beginner must look on himself as one setting out to make a garden for his Lord's pleasure on most unfruitful soil, which abounds in weeds. His Majesty roots up the weeds and will put in good plants instead.
Okay.
Let us reckon that this is already done when the soul decides to practice prayer and has begun to do so.
Saint Teresa of Avila.
Avila. I'm going to read that again. A beginner must look on himself as one setting out to make a garden for his Lord's pleasure. Okay, on most fruitful soil, which abounds in weeds. His Majesty roots up the weeds and will put in good plants instead. Let us reckon that this is already done when the soul decides to practice prayer and has begun to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what happens when we step into bhakti. We're the very practice itself. It's a practice. Bhakti is what we do. Out of all Vedic study, bhakti is a practice that's it's like you're already in the spiritual world. There's no karma yoga. There's no jnana yoga in the spiritual world. There's no hatha yoga going on in the spiritual world.
There's just bhakti going on.
There's just bhakti in the spiritual world. In Vaikuntha, in Goloka, these are all practices that aren't of this world. It's interesting to look at it like that because we talk about the different stages of yoga, and then you hear like Bhakti-yoga, what's that book called? Bhakti-yoga, the topmost yoga system. And people are like, well, that's a little slanted. No, it's not. It's the topmost yoga system because it's the yoga practice of what liberated souls are actually practicing. They're actually practicing service to the Lord. That's what's happening, not even in the higher planets. It's happening in the spiritual realm. And it's what happens, and we practice it in this realm. We're not practicing yoga system to become more sattvic. We're not practicing it to attain mystic powers. We're not practicing it to get life on better material arrangements for us. We're actually practicing a practice that goes on in the spiritual world. It's sort of like the process is also the end result. The very process itself. That's what Prabhupada would say.
The means
about
and
his,
the end are the same. That's
the means and the end are the same. So
unique
Prabhupada
about
would say
bhakti.
these new devotees, he would say, yeah, they're pure devotees. Of course, they're not pure devotees. They can fall down. But because they're practicing they're practicing
pure devotion
service,
Yeah.
then that is what it's like being not of this world.
Right.
Very interesting, huh?
It is. Part of what I love about this quote, part of it is that the metaphor is practically the same as what we find in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service that's growing like a creeper, and you have to pull out the weeds and so on, right? That we all have a little plant that's growing, that's our love for God, and eventually it grows fully, and it produces fruits that we make an offering of, fruits of love of God that we make an offering of God. So that's there, and there's a detailed description of that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this text that gives the life story of Sri Chaitanya, that really identifies the different weeds, what they are, right?
Yeah.
The desire for prestige, committing violence or harm, animosity towards other living entities. One by one, it's saying that these weeds need to be pulled out, and in this little tender plant needs to be well protected, just like that's what a gardener knows about that kind of stuff, right? Oh, it needs a little support right now. It needs, then it'll grow strong, then it'll produce the fruits. So that's there. But I liked part of most fundamentally what I like about this is, and this is something we talk about a lot, Raghunath, but what are we doing with our life? What is the purpose of it? What are we trying to, people don't really know. Is it, I'm just trying to be successful materially, I'm going to find happiness through that? I love it when a spiritualist comes along and says, what we're trying to do is actually prepare our heart. What we're trying to do is, by the time we drop dead, we want our heart to be, our mind and our heart to be so entirely pure that we have the capacity to love without any selfish motive, to love God without any selfish motive, and to love every living being in this world, that I don't have a drop of animosity. That's when we graduated from the Groundhog Day and we're ready to exit this world because we've learned all our lessons. And to identify that, when she says a beginner must look upon himself as setting out to make a garden for his Lord's pleasure, on the most unfruitful soil, to me, what I'm understanding is she's saying that we have a heart that's abound in weeds, all kind of weeds of selfishness. And therefore our heart is not fruitful. It's not producing the fruits of love of God. We should look upon ourselves as we're setting out to create a healthy garden, that our heart is this healthy garden that's producing these wonderful fruits. That's what we're trying to do. And it doesn't matter if we're like a warrior or a housewife or a president or a priest or a spiritual leader or someone driving a taxi cab. What God is appreciating anyone that's making that effort, on whatever level we can, we contribute in this world. But what are we trying to do? We want to have that heart of gold. We want to have that heart that's entirely pure, and that's what I want to focus on. That's what I want to do with this life. I want to keep it focused right there. I know what I'm doing. I'm not confused, right? I'm working towards it. And there are spiritual traditions, when you get to the essence of them, that's what they're teaching, whether it's Christianity or Hinduism or, Bhakti or whatever it is. It's getting that pure heart.
I like you.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's all I have to say. That was good. I think we got to change the name of that.
Change the name.
Creeper. I don't like that name anymore. Bhakti Lata Creeper.
You don't like
You know
it
what I mean?
anymore?
Yeah. It's sometimes you got to update a word.
Vine.
Sometimes you got to update a word. Bhakti Lata. Yeah, vine. A beautiful vine. Because creeper just sounds like a creep.
You get you're worried.
Don't be a Bhakti Lata creeper on me,
Creep.
man. There's this Bhakti Lata creeper hanging around. No, we gotta say like Bhakti, the
You
vine,
picture
the vine, the vine of
you
love of
picture
God.
someone like in a Wile E. Coyote outfit, like climbing up the wall with suction cups, like
Bhakti
looking in
Lata.
the window.
Here he comes, the Bhakti Lata creeper. Yeah, we the Bhakti Lata vine, beautiful
Okay.
vine, divine love. Okay, we're in a new chapter.
Yeah, this is a very interesting chapter, Raghunath.
Yeah. This is, it's a famous story, the Bhagavatam.
Okay, but you got shlokas to chant here right now.
Yeah, I was like, Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam madirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, and to Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesh vabhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyanaptimarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmadatam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. New chapter, Canto 8, Chapter 12, Verse 1. This name of this is, it's a good story. The Mohini-murti incarnation bewilders Lord Shiva.
Okay. Yeah. So we've been hearing a narration that had to do. It's really been kind of like a Star Wars section of Bhagavatam. Universal battle for control of the universe between the dark forces and the forces of light, in a sense, But one thing that we've been talking about while you're away, Raghunath, I think, was that Narada, he seems to love both sides, like he doesn't hate the demons. He actually cares about them, even though they're demons. Yeah.
He's impartial.
He's impartial. He just like he may recognize that they're doing things that are harmful, but he doesn't hate them for it. He loves them anyway. He's trying to do the best for everyone. And he just stopped. He just stopped the Devas from wiping them out, because the Devas, they were in control of this battle. And when he saw it was just going too far, he said, "Okay, stop now. Stop. Enough." And so now there's a pause where we're kind of looking back, like, oh, by the way, Bali, who got injured on the battlefield, he's going to make a comeback.
Yeah.
He's going to make a comeback. That's coming in future chapters. So that's not over. But now there's kind of a pause in the battle scenes. And we're going back a little bit to the churning of the ocean of milk, where in order to deliver this nectar that was churned out of the ocean to the Devas, instead of allowing the demons to take it all for themselves, Vishnu appeared in the form of the most stunningly attractive female that ever existed. So this was an avatar called Mohini-murti, which literally means like an entirely bewilderingly enchanting form.
Mohini is like moha. You're like a feminine moha. Moha means like total illusion.
Mohini, yeah.
When's the last time you were in total illusion, Kastuma?
No, it's right now, Raghunath, right now.
Oh, really?
Really? Tell us about it. So what happens in this chapter is Lord Shiva wasn't there when we heard that Lord Shiva, when the ocean was being churned, he drank that poison which was the first thing to come out.
Yeah.
And it was only later that Mohini-murti appeared, and Lord Shiva apparently wasn't there to see it. So he's kind of like, I've heard that Lord Vishnu appeared as the most incredibly stunningly enchanting woman, and I just would like to see that form.
It's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to see that form?
And Lord Shiva, he's known for being Dhira, right? Like sober.
Very sober, very grave, very wise.
Yeah, and even and that even his wife Parvati, who is the goddess of the material energy, which every enchanting female form is composed of,
Mm-hmm.
even she can't break his concentration when he's focused like that.
But
Yeah, so you would think, like, I'm not sure where Lord Shiva is at, where if he's one thing we know about Shiva, and this is going to come out right at the beginning of the chapter, is he understands who Lord Vishnu is. He understands that he's the supreme.
mm,
So he wants to see. I want to almost like when Arjuna says to Krishna, "Please show me your universal form." I want to see. I know you as my friend. I want to see you demonstrate your omnipotence and your all pervasiveness and your just your godhood. You know, I want to see it.
mm,
In a sense, that's what Lord Shiva is asking, right? Like, I heard that you took on this form. That fascinates me. I've seen all your other incarnations. I would like to see this form. But he
mm,
must know that it's almost like well, I'll become enchanted, right?
mm.
That sobriety that I'm known for, I'll lose it, and I could lose it in embarrassing ways.
Yeah, you can get real embarrassing, and it might. Let's just read on. What do you say?
Okay, let's see what
We'll get
happens.
to the bottom
But
of this.
let me share this before as we start. What's going to happen at the beginning of this chapter is really important, because as someone reads through all the Vedic literature and all the different Puranas, it can be confusing as to who's supreme and so on. You know, like, and chapter 12 begins with Lord Shiva glorifying Vishnu as being supreme. He's going to give like a comprehensive exposition on the status of Lord Vishnu as the ultimate, right?
Mm.
The source of everything. And Shiva is like the one figure whom readers of the Puranas would most easily misconstrue as being supreme. Like, there's Shiva and there's Vishnu, and you know, if you're gonna come to the conclusion that it's not Vishnu, it's most likely you're gonna come to the conclusion that it's Shiva.
Sure.
And because Vyasadeva wanted to clarify things in Bhagavatam, he's intentionally showing Lord Shiva giving, again, he's not just going to say you're supreme and leave it there. He's going to give a thorough, comprehensive exposition on just who Lord Vishnu is, with opening up with prayer. So when he goes and says, I would like to see this form, he's not just going to walk up and casually say, I would like to see this form. He's going to go and first offer his prayers. And that's where we begin this chapter.
All right. Here's text 1 and 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the form of a woman, captivated the demons and enabled the demigods to drink the nectar. Right? They're fighting over this nectar.
Yeah.
After hearing these pastimes, Lord Shiva, who was carried by a bull, went to the place where Madhusudana, the Lord, resides. Accompanied by his wife, Uma, and surrounded by his companions, the ghosts, Lord Shiva went there to see the Lord's form as a woman. So Lord Vishnu said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead welcomed Lord Shiva and Uma with great respect. And after being seated comfortably, Lord Shiva duly worshipped the Lord and smilingly spoke as follows.
Okay, now hold on 1 second. So in each of the following verses, Lord Shiva is going to show how Vishnu is supreme in different ways. In text 4, he's going to describe him as Parameshwar, the supreme controller. In text 5, the Supreme Inexhaustible. And in each text, it's going to go on. Like in text 6, we're going to hear the descriptions of what Vishnu's devotees are like. And then we're going to hear how he's supremely independent, how he's the supreme absolute, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a real, like, it's almost like he's delivering a carefully composed dissertation now on the supremacy of Vishnu. So this, again, text 4 is he's the supreme controller. the Param Ishvara.
Lord Mahadev said, O chief demigod amongst the demigods, O all-pervading master of the universe, by your energy, you are transformed into the creation. You are the root and efficient cause of everything. You are not material. Indeed, you are the super soul or supreme living force of everything. Therefore, you are Parameshwara, the supreme controller of all controllers. That's Lord Shiva
Okay.
saying that.
Yeah. And, the commentaries, I won't go into all the details here,
Hmm.
but they're very fascinating because they're presenting everything that's being said. Because, this is composed of, in a sense, different names or different qualities of Vishnu. Deva Deva means you're the god of the gods.
Hmm.
Jagat Vyapin means you're all pervading. Jagat Isha means you're the master of the universe. And what the commentators do is they kind of show this as going like a conversation. Like Shiva says Deva Deva, and then Vishnu replies, well, people also call you like the supreme amongst the devas. And he says, yes, but you're Jagat Vyapin, you're all pervading. They can't say that about me, but that's you. And then Vishnu says, well, what about this? And then he says, oh, because you're Jagadisha, you're the master of the universe. Okay, well, what about that? And so each one is kind of like an answer to like a doubt, or it's narrowing down like the possibilities of who this, of just like in a calculation, you keep narrowing it down until you get to the one,
Sure.
like, and so that's kind of what's going on between Shiva and Vishnu. Shiva gives a praise, and he's saying, but that praise could be for both you and me. No, 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 not me, because of this. And it keeps tightening it and tightening it.
Sometimes in a very, very big company, there is the acting CEO or the person who has all the control of everything, and he or she maybe sees that everything is going on in the day to day, and we know him or her as the boss. They're the
Yeah.
ultimate boss. But sometimes there's a silent shareholder that actually owns more. And so
Right.
and so there is in Vedic thought, Shiva is so powerful and people have so much respect for him. There's temples all over where people just say, "Well, Lord Shiva, look, everyone's like all the people, even my manager, my manager's manager, my manager's manager, all the multi-level authorities in the business are going to Lord Shiva. He's obviously
He's
the
called
most important."
Mahadeva, the,
Yeah,
the great god.
and then there is they call him the Mahadev, Maheshwar, but then there is this very sort of like almost like Raja Vidya Raja Guyam, the secret of all secrets is this
Mhm.
this Krishna
Yeah.
Bhakti, who's sort of like he's a silent partner. He's like not visible unless you have this heart of bhakti, and then all of a sudden you start to see, oh, I get it. Krishna's behind everything, and now this is what the Bhagavatam is giving us. It's giving us like a little window into what's actually happening. Here is Shiva offering obeisances here to
Yeah.
Lord Vishnu.
In great detail. And so here it said, now Lord Vishnu might ask Shiva at this point, you say that I am the material universe, like that it's all my energy, that in a sense that I am this universe, but the universe has a beginning and is temporary and unconscious. Are you saying that I'm temporary and unconscious? And then text 5 is like, no, 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 you're inexhaustible. There's no
Sure.
end to you. And so that's text 5.
Mm. It's interesting because what the Vedas offer is so many very interesting otherworldly things, not just metaphysical things, mystical things like religious performances for things. And so I've known people, and you've known people. I'm going to come to details, but people have like they already have a strict yogic path, and then after a few years of practicing, they stumble upon like the Krishna book and they hear about Krishna, or they stumble upon the Bhagavad Gita or Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, which is really emphasizing bhakti. And they're like, oh, wow. Now I'm seeing all my Vedic study, all my yogic study, all my Ayurvedic study, all my Jyotish study, all
Yeah.
my, all my pujas and mantras and worship. Now I'm seeing it in a different perspective because
Where it all culminates.
where it all culminates. Not that any of it was actually wrong. And that
Yeah.
is the beauty of the Vedic paradigm is all these things fit in very nicely and they work together. And it's a whole system where they work together. But once you understand the goal, then you realize everything in an appropriate perspective.
Nice. Nice, Raghunath. Nice, nice.
The manifest, the unmanifest, false ego. I tell you, Kostuba, if I can just keep this up, I woke up at 5. If I
Where
can
you
keep
going?
this up, I will have beat this jet lag, damn it. Right? If we can stay awake today, Mara, and go to bed at 5, go to bed like at 8 or 9 or something, we can do
Roga,
this.
just go with it. You're doing fine. You'll be.
No. You don't understand. If I take a nap at all, it's going
Yeah.
to throw me off for a week. I got to stay. I got to push.
But you'll just wake up early. And that's good. So, like, if you fell asleep at 5 in the afternoon, you're going to wake up at midnight and you're going to be good to go. And Mara's like, no.
That's not good.
All right.
That's not good.
Text 5.
I'm painting my altar today. Painting it.
So I understand. I'm wondering about that. What color?
I
are you
got
going with?
inspired. It's like.
But you have that
upgrading
nice
my
wood.
worship. You know what? It's not that nice. It's not that nice. I'm going to paint. It's going to look really nice.
Okay.
Already got it out in the garage. That's what I did to stay awake last night. Stayed out there, started painting, started sanding.
What color?
White, bright white with wood trim.
White.
Wood trim and little gold leaf.
What do you mean wood trim?
Well, I'm keeping some of the wood exposed and
Oh.
painting the rest like a high gloss
Oh,
white.
very creative.
And then doing gold leaf on the little
look at you.
indentations.
That's
Yeah, and
have you done
you
that
know why?
gold leaf
Because I got
work
this
before?
big, beautiful brass asana. Asana is a little throne, and I'm putting all my shalagram shilas, my little gopal, and my Govardhan shilas on this big asana.
Was that in your luggage or you brought that on your carry-on?
That I carried on.
Look at that.
I have that, and it fits
Alright.
perfectly, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the worship.
Okay.
So,
A little squirrel there.
yeah, it's okay. It's natural. The manifest. Oh, Mara.
There you go, Mara. Right
The
there.
manifest.
I'm going 5 months without my squirrel. You know,
How are you?
I thought of bringing it.
Why didn't you pack your squirrel?
I should have packed it. I got not a lot of space, in my luggage.
I don't know how you do 5 months in India right now. Like, India is exhausting. Even being in Nepal was a little bit of a relief from India. Something about India. It's like you age
It
quicker.
can wear you down.
It can
can
wear
wear-
you down. You like
But I'll tell you
age
something.
in India.
Mayapur feels easy, Raghunath.
Yeah.
Mayapur feels easy.
But it's, you know what I found last time I was in Mayapur, I was like, it's still a Dham, meaning it's still a holy place where you got to be on your super A game. I guess it's just training us to be on our A game. I think you are pretty much on your A game most of the time. I'm not. I'm on like a K game or a D, like something about like an M or a Q game. And so when I go to the holy Dham, I got and that's why I'm on a Q game.
I
And I
think
gotta
you do
bring it
well
up.
in the Dham, Raghunath. I think you do
I
well.
do because I'm on my A game. I got to show up in my A game.
Okay. All right.
Once I cross borders, and I'm like, okay.
What you?
back to my-
Yeah,
to
you
my
gave up the show, like,
SE.
you're just like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. It's like, hold it, what?
What?
Yeah, that's
Stupid.
what happened the other day, Raghunath. That's what happened. It was like last minute. It was like, is there a problem with the internet? Is there? No.
I had one day off.
I know,
Anybody
I know.
on the message board will be like, give this poor guy a day off. And you sounded horrible yourself. I was talking to you. You're like, "Oh,
Thank you.
I'm so wiped out. You're just complaining.
I
and
was,
complaining."
but I was
okay,
like,
okay.
I was
all right,
working to
okay."
get to do the show.
And
Oh,
I
so
thought,
that
you
was
know
for
what?
me.
I'm gonna throw Mr. Kostuba a bone here.
Well, you know
I'm
what? I've got a nice goal for us, Raghunath.
What's the goal?
Today's show is episode number.
I don't know.
Mara doesn't even know. Mara hasn't gotten back
1470.
in the group. Yeah, 1470.
1470.
So that means we have 41 days or something like that to do 31 to do 30 episodes,
What are you talking about?
which we should do more than that. Which means before our
Till
fifth
the end
year
of the year.
ends, we'll do 1,500, which means we're averaging over 300 episodes per year. That's
Not bad. Not bad. That's reasonable, people, for a daily yoga podcast. Come on.
yeah. That'll be nice, right? To hit
some
that
of the
mark?
listeners are like, well, it ain't daily then. Some of these extremists on our show. Hey, listen to this, Kostuba. Episode 1500, we're going to have Bhagavatam Appreciation Day. So people, we're going to...
Oh, you want to do that? Okay. but we
Especially
did
our
the
Zoomers.
500.
Especially our Zoomers. How Bhagavatam affected you, what you're getting out of it.
Okay. Start
have you
noting
changed from
things
adding
down.
the Bhagavatam? Start noticing these things, because usually when we get to one of these milestone numbers, we're like, "What should we do for tomorrow's show?" Now we're giving you 30 episodes in advance
Okay.
to think about this. Write to Mara, and then we'll unmute you, and you get to share a little bit about your story.
All right.
Benefits of the Bhagavatam.
Okay. Okay. Text 5. Krishna is the supreme inexhaustible. Hit it.
The manifest, the unmanifest, false ego, and the beginning, maintenance, and annihilation of this cosmic manifestation all come from you,
From you.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because you are the absolute, the Supreme Absolute Spirit Soul, the Supreme Brahman, such changes as birth, death, and sustenance did not exist in you.
Okay. So the world of change, the temporal world, emanates from him,
Sure.
whereas he remains beyond change in the absolute realm. Okay. Now Shiva's going to say something very interesting, Raghu.
Tell me.
What are you chewing on there? What do you got?
Ginger.
Ginger? Did you get some ginger? Okay. You healthy? Are you feeling okay?
I wasn't, but now I am. I think I was just deeply dehydrated.
You got to stay hydrated.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm drinking lots of liquids.
Okay.
To my mom. Gotta stay hydrated.
I care about you. I care. I've been real careful about it. I came with like a lot of electrolytes, little mini packages, which
So
means
did
I
I.
use them effectively.
You know what I like? I got these electrolytes American Hunt got too. They're like pills. You don't have to put them in water. You just chew them.
I've seen that.
You're
Are they as
completely
effective?
I don't know, but they taste like
And
razzles.
Mara's
I really
like,
like them. They taste like razzles.
You don't drink any water, but you get totally hydrated.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen those chewables. All right.
Yeah, that is weird. You're supposed to drink water with it? How do you get hydrated just from a chewing candy? It's like a candy. It's so
Yeah, it's like
candy.
a big Flintstones thing.
It's like
big,
a big Flintstones vitamin.
sweet tart.
All right, continuing on, Squirrel Boy.
Okay, so now Shiva's going to speak about Vishnu's devotees, how they're different than his devotees. We're not saying it, Shiva's saying it. Okay.
Pure devotees or great saintly persons who desire to achieve the highest goal in life and who are completely free from all material desires for sense gratification engage constantly in the transcendental service of your lotus feet.
Okay, so the commentators are saying that it's like with Shiva, he's like, my devotees aren't like that. My devotees are generally, most commonly worshiping me to get something, right? Because they have material desires, they approach me. Whereas your devotees, they're coming to you just out of love. It's another state of awareness that they're coming from, the highest state of awareness. So if we look at this text, the things that these are the 4 qualities of pure devotees, pure bhaktas, of Lord Vishnu's devotees that are mentioned here. He says that they engage constantly in the service of your lotus feet, right? It's not like I do it on Sunday because I want to get this or that. No, they live for it. They live it. It is all they have. It is all they know. They're completely in love. And so they operate on that level all the time. He says they desire to achieve the highest goal in life, the ultimate auspiciousness of bhakti. They're completely free of all material desires for sense gratification, and they give up all material attachments in this life and in the next life. You know, if we go into the Sanskrit of each one of those, this is what's, if we fluff it out a bit, this is what's being said. So it's like Shiva saying he's being worshipped by innumerable people in the universe, but he's saying you're the supreme, and people are approaching you from the supreme level of consciousness. That where they're I'm kind of like dealing with the muck of the material realm, and people that are rising out of the muck are approaching you. All right.
Excellent. Pure devotees or great saintly persons who desire to achieve the highest goal in life and who are completely free from all material desires for sense gratification engage constantly in the transcendental service of your lotus feet.
Yeah, you read that. Now text 7.
Text 7. My
Now
Lord,
he's going to say you're the supremely independent.
my Lord, you are the Supreme Brahman, complete in everything. Being completely spiritual, you are eternal, free from the material modes of nature, and full of transcendental bliss. Indeed, for you there is no question of lamentation. Since you are the supreme cause, the cause of all causes, nothing can exist without you. Yet we are different from you in relationship of cause and effect. For in one sense, the cause and effect are different. You are the original cause of creation, manifestation, and annihilation, and you bestow benedictions upon all living entities. Everyone depends on you for the results of his activities, but you are always independent.
He's the only one that can say that entirely. Right?
Yeah. Text 8. My dear Lord, your lordship alone is the cause and the effect. What? Therefore, although you appear to be two, you are the absolute one. As there is no difference between the gold of a golden ornament and the gold in a mine, there is no difference between the cause and effect.
The gold mine, in a sense, is the cause, and the gold that comes out of it is the effect.
Mm.
In a sense, Krishna is both of these, right? He's the source of everything,
Yeah.
right? Like it comes from him, and in a sense, it is him because it is his energy.
Both of them are the same. Only because of ignorance do people concoct differences and dualities. You are free from material contamination. And since the entire cosmos is caused by you and cannot exist without you, it is an effect of your transcendental qualities. Thus, the conception that Brahman is true and the world is false cannot be maintained.
Oh, let's go through that whole thing again. This is interesting.
Text 8.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Go through it again.
Read it again?
Yeah. I said
My
too
dear
much?
Lord, your lordship alone is the cause and the effect.
Both the cause
Therefore,
and the
although
effect.
you appear to be two, you are the absolute one. As there's no difference between the gold of a golden ornament and the gold in a gold mine, there is no difference between cause and effect. Both are the same. Only because of ignorance do people concoct differences and dualities. You are free from material contamination, and since the entire cosmos is caused by you and cannot exist without you, it is an effect of your transcendental qualities. Thus, the conception that Brahman is true and the world is false cannot be maintained. Yeah, so this world is not false; it's just not what it appears to be.
Yeah. And
Right.
and he's saying only because of ignorance do people concoct differences and dualities. That can be here. There's an example of the gold and the gold mine. Imagine you worked in a gold mine, right? Like
Okay,
it
I
was.
do imagine that. Interesting that
You-
you bring that up.
Not exactly. You imagine yourself striking gold finding gold with your whatever they call that thing, your metal
a
detector.
backyard, a metal detector in a backyard cave. Yes, I do.
Okay. But if you drew the gold out of the earth, and what to speak of if you did whatever smelting or whatever they do with it to purify it, and then you made a ring out of it, it would be hard for you to think of that ring as different than the mine,
Right.
because you see how the cause and the effect are one,
Sure.
right? The ring is not different from the mine in a sense, right? It's made of the mine. It comes from the mine. It can't be disassociated with the mine. And so Shiva's drawing our philosophy is a Chincha Beta Beta Tattva, that everything of this world is one with and at the same time simultaneously different. So in one sense, everything is God, and in another sense, everything is different from God. Shiva, he's highlighting the oneness here.
There is a when we become a little awake on a spiritual path, we start to realize, like, wow, I was in so much illusion.
When did you
Wow,
wake up? What was that moment? Tell us the moment you awoke.
It was great. I was sitting under a tree and I realized I am this. I am this, which is that. No, I was, but my point is, that made him laugh. We are that.
You are
We
that.
are. Anyway, So when you wake up a little bit from the dream of life, you start to go, what I've been doing with my life? Why was I presenting myself as this? Why was I living in my ego? Um, there must be something more, or my life is so incredibly tiny. Um, and so then the more we start to realize this, we start to see, oh, I was an illusion. I've been chasing illusion. I'm completely overwhelmed in illusion. I don't want illusion anymore. I want God. And so we also endorse this duality, even on a spiritual path. But then we realize actually that Krishna uses that illusion for our own personal growth and edification. And that illusion, that is Krishna's gift to us. It's like a recipe. It's a recipe how to get him. It's like it's a secret map of how to get to him. We use that karma that we have that's been giving us ups and downs of this world to see like, oh, this was all Krishna's
You
plan
mean
for me.
what served as the source of our illusion or confusion can then
Yeah.
become part of our path of getting out of illusion?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
It's not like that. It was just nothing. I have to escape this nothingness and just find God. No, actually, the illusion is real. It's just not what it appears to be.
Right.
There's a reason why this pain and pleasure and ups and downs and incredible health and disease states we're in. It's not just because it's all nothing. It's all incredibly something, and it's exactly what we need to escape the matrix or the maze, whatever you want to call it, of material existence.
All right. Thank you. What's the guy's name in the Matrix again?
Neo,
No, the other guy, the guru figure. Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Thank you, Morpheus.
I can help you.
Mayor, can you help us?
Help! I need somebody to help. Not just anybody.
There's just Bhakti-yoga in the spiritual world.
Oh, we started reading the Indrajumna Swami book. Did you read that yet?
Mayor, she had a moment there, and then
No, Maharaj gave us his new book that came out,
yeah.
and it's like a compilation of his whole life, of all of his sort of his other books, like put into one cohesive story. Really good.
I haven't started reading it yet.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
Good.
I'm looking forward to that.
If you're new to Bhakti or if you've been around Bhakti a lot, I think people would like this. What's the name?
What's the book called? Want me to get it?
that.
I'll get it. Transcendental
it,
Adventure or
quick.
something like that, or is it?
It's something like exciting travels of a monk. Yeah, go get it, Costuba.
Adventures of a Traveling Monk.
Adventures of a Traveling Monk. What publisher is it? It's a big publisher.
It's HarperCollins.
HarperCollins. It's everyone should get this book. It's a great book. It's an easy read too. It's like one adventurous story after another. I highly recommend it. Great Christmas gift. If you've already bought your version of Punk to Monk and want another gift,
Doubled Punk to Monk.
you've already doubled Punk to Monk, then get this.
Don't get this until you've gotten 2 Punk to Monks.
At least.
It is a great book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're doing the takeaways right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, Chita says it's action-packed, on par with Radha Swami's journey home and Punk to Monk. Okay, thanks, Achita.
On par with Punk to Monk?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he didn't say that, but that's what he meant.
Okay.
Didn't say it. All right.
It's people are asking about the book name again. It's Adventures of a Traveling Monk, a memoir by Indrajumna Swami.
It's also an Audible, perhaps. Or maybe Ishri Sindri meant mine was on Audible.
It's not about Punk to Monk.
Uproot the weeds of selfishness to protect the Bhakti vine seedling.
Okay.
The Bhakti vine seedling.
Call it a vine now. We call it a
I
vine.
want the creeper, yeah.
Yeah.
Vishnu is the absolute one.
Don't be a creeper.
We're preparing our mind and heart for selfless love.
There you go.
Vishnu devotees live for service.
We're gonna sizing it up.
I am. That's what we do, right? We size these up.
Vishnu is always independent, the cause and effect.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's it.
And Krishna is a silent partner behind everything.
Oh.
He's a silent investor in your life. Thanks everybody for joining us. Another episode in the can. Did you say that? For the books? Another
In the
episode for the
can?
books. In the can. That doesn't sound good. That sounds very bad. It's gonna be another great year of bhakti, Kastuba.
We still got to finish this one.
Yeah, it's winding down. Thanksgiving.
1,500. I like that number. I like that we're hitting that number. If 5 years ago we would have said that 5 years later we'll be doing the 1,500th episode, pretty
Like,
solid.
what? Yeah.